Kia ora te whānau, welcome back to a new video. So today I'm going to be talking about my Fusion5 interview experience. So for those of you who've never heard of Fusion5, they're basically this NZ kind of tech company offering consulting services mostly, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, basically I applied to their graduate program, and today I'm going to talk about my interview experience. Here's a quick timeline if you are interested. So on the 22nd of July, I applied initially, and this was a pretty basic application. Unlike a lot of other companies, they didn't have like a form or anything. You literally just sent the HR person an email with your CV, cover letter, and academic transcript. But to be honest, this is actually my preferred method because I think it's just the easiest one from an applicant's perspective. Like obviously for them it's probably more difficult, I don't really know, but yeah, it was really easy for me. It took probably no less than 2 minutes because nothing was specific. I just put generic CV, generic cover letter, and then my transcript. 10th of August, so about 3 weeks later, I got an email inviting me to an assessment day. And initially this was meant to be in person, but due to the COVID outbreak in Auckland, obviously, you know, it was cancelled and switched to online. That happened on the 26th of August. And then 4 days later, so pretty quickly, on the 30th of August, I got an email saying that I had been rejected. Basically, this video is just going to be my experience on that kind of like online assessment day situation. It was on Microsoft Teams and it started off at 10 o'clock. So initially from 10 to 10:30, there was basically a half an hour presentation session. It was actually cool because when everyone logged on, they told people to like turn their camera off because it slowed down Microsoft Teams. So it was very chill in that sense. I literally just lied down in bed and listened to it. And it was actually quite good. It's pretty informative. Basically, the CEO talked for 10 minutes just about Fusion5, you know, what their company does. And then we learned a bit about like their specific graduate program. And I have to say it did seem to be pretty good in the sense that like there was a lot of structure, there's a lot of training, and they really seem to have like gotten it down to a good place after running it for many years. So yeah, after talking about the grad program, another person talked about like the benefits of the company and just the general experience. And yeah, after that, I have to say I was pretty like happy, I was pretty stoked. It seemed like a pretty good company to work for, so I was definitely quite enthusiastic. And then after that, we each had two 15-minute interviews scheduled. So my first one was at 11:45, so I did have a pretty long break in between. So I guess it was kind of good because I had some time to just chill out. This interview only lasted about like 12 minutes, so it wasn't quite 15 minutes. So it was very short, and it was with two people from the company, and I have to say they were kind of like older, and unfortunately for one of them, like their technology, like Teams just wasn't really working for them, so I could barely hear their voice. So that was kind of annoying, but yeah, overall, they were definitely quite nice people. It was pretty awkward, to be honest. Like probably the most awkward interview that I've done. Normally, I feel like when if you're interviewing someone, then I guess I would expect you to take the lead. But it was almost like they were waiting for me to like lead the interview for some reason. But yeah, anyways, it was pretty simple and relatively quick and painless. So they just asked me about, you know, difficult situations I've had, like challenges I've had, and they also asked quite a lot about like what I'd like to do in my spare time, you know, my hobbies, like what would I do if I had a tough day. I think I just said like I'll just go home and talk to my family or friends about it. You know, at the end, obviously you get the opportunity to ask them some questions as well. So I think I said like, what do you enjoy about working at the company? Just something super generic. So after that was done, I felt pretty good. Oh, they definitely also asked me which part of the company I'm interested in, and I think I just talked about consulting and like ERP and stuff. Then the next interview was in the afternoon, so it was a couple hours later, and it was with two more people in the business. And this one, I guess, was a bit more professional. Like they were definitely a bit more onto it in terms of technology. And they first of all asked me like why I'm interested in working at Fusion5. I don't really remember what I said, to be honest. I think it's just the ability to like work with business and technology. And then they asked me which of their values was my favorite. So luckily they covered this in the presentation because I didn't actually do much research. So I just talked about integrity and how like, you know, I try to live my life with integrity. And then they asked about hobbies again, asked about like the exact part of their business that I wanted to go down, and to be honest, I didn't really have a great answer. So I think if someone says they really want to do one thing, like chances are they're probably lying because most of us have no idea. So I just think it's a pretty stupid question to ask a student, like where they want their career to go, because most people have no idea, and even if you do have an idea, it's most likely not going to follow the way that you planned it to. After that, I got to ask them some questions, and I think I asked about what technology they're excited about, and they gave pretty generic answers. I think someone talked about like artificial intelligence and cybersecurity and stuff like that. They seem like pretty nice people at the end of the day, so I don't really have any complaints. And then yeah, like I said, I didn't actually you know, get to the next stage, which I think would have been another kind of one-on-one interview. And then I guess you would get offered a graduate role. Overall, I'm not too sad that I didn't get in. Felt like I did fairly well in the interview. I think they definitely wanted someone that was probably more knowledgeable about the specific area that they wanted to go down, because I think obviously being a small firm, they invest a lot into their graduates, so they really want to like train you in one specific thing so that you're very knowledgeable in that area. Overall, the process was pretty easy and quick. I really have no complaints. I only had 2 15-minute interviews and then they got back to me within a few days, so shout out to the HR team for being real efficient. If you are watching this because you have an interview coming up with Fusion5, definitely make sure you do your research and you learn about what their business does and the specific areas that you would like to work in and how your skills and experience makes you a good fit for that area. Overall, it was a pretty easy experience, so definitely nothing to be worried about. Do research, be yourself, and you'll be fine. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Ciao.